What is up, everyone? We're going live here. We're going to jump on with one of my dudes here today. He should be joining in any moment. Give him a few seconds here. Hey, what's up, Clay? Thanks for jumping on, man. We're going to be doing a little chat today. Brian, what's up? Ronnie is in. My man, request to join. Give him a few seconds here, guys. I'm going to do a little podcasting today via Instagram. Should be pretty good. My man Ronnie's jumping on. What's up, Stone Cowboy? Tanner Savage, what's up, man? We're going to be doing a little podcasting here today with my man Ronnie. Ronnie is going to jump on right now. Here we go. Thanks for jumping on, Tanner. I appreciate it, man. We have some fun here today. We're just waiting for Ronnie.
We're here.
Ronnie, what is up, dude?
What's up, man?
Not a lot. How are you, dude?
Everybody can relate. It's been pretty crazy, huh?
Dude.
Life has been crazy.
Yeah,
it is.
It is, man. Life is crazy.
But we're here. We're alive. And, I mean, what else? All right.
Dude, you know what, though? It's like normally I would have people down here in my basement, like at our podcast desk. So I'm sitting at like our desk right here. Maybe on Average Podcast.
Nice.
You know, like normally we'd have people down here.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is how we're rocking it right now, and that's okay. And, you know, it's been a lot of fun. We've done a few of these, and with that main focus of just like spreading positivity, you know what I mean? And it's funny because you didn't even know I was doing that, and you messaged me and you were like, let's do this podcast.
Yeah.
And it was on the same lines of things. So it's go ahead.
I remember the first one we had, and something happened to where we weren't able to have it. And then you just not really, I don't want to maybe lose touch, but we did lose touch just for a little bit, and then it was like, dude, let's get this thing popping.
Yeah, the first podcast, me and you sat down at like Panera, and we actually just met up like chat, and we ended up flipping on the recording podcast. Somehow the recording didn't work. Like we got a call midway through.
Oh yeah.
And I ended the call, and I thought it like just kept recording, and it actually didn't record half of our podcast, and it was some gold stuff in there too.
It was. There's some nuggets in there.
I know. I was bummed. And then we just never got it done again. But life gets busy, you know what I mean? Like
it does.
Life gets crazy.
It's so routine, right? It's so routine. And next thing you know, it could be 6 months and then a year and then 2 years. And you're like, dude, I haven't even reached out to whoever. And
I know.
You know, maybe nobody famous on a global stage, but famous to you.
Yeah.
So, whether it be a parent or friend or whoever.
Dude, that's exactly right too, man. That's exactly right. So tell me, let's jump in. Let's catch up a little bit. What have you been up to? And we'll go from there and just like talk. You know, we're in the same field,
right?
You know what I mean? Like how it's all affecting us, where our mindset's at, and what we're doing to spread positivity, share positivity, and let's just take it off, man.
The whole virtual thing online has kind of been blowing up, obviously, especially at Sanford at the field house. So it's been good. Just reaching out to the kids and reaching out to my athletes, and we're supposed to start Zoom sessions next week.
Awesome.
So pretty excited about that, just because I haven't seen them for a while. And going from seeing them to every day to not seeing them, seeing my athletes as near as often as I usually am. You know, it's different. Right. It's different, and I am a creature to where I can change, but, you know, I am human too. We're all human, and you get stuck in your ways that you like, that you just get stuck in, you know, whether it's seeing them every day and coaching them. But, you know, the whole aspect of not seeing them for a month or two and coaching from online, if you would have told me that 2, 3, 4 days a week before, I would have thought you were high.
Dude, I know. And so tell everybody a little bit about your background. Yep. What you do, Ronnie.
Yep.
You know, tell them real quick, like a little lowdown of like where you're at right now. But then let's backtrack, man, and let's talk about how you got started with all of this.
Right. So 5 years in, strength conditioning. Started it off with doubting myself in terms of, dude, I can't go back to school. I don't want to go back to school. I don't know if I can do it. and then having that mindset in terms of, and then changing it to, dude, I'm going to kick this thing in the ass. Got my master's online, got all the certifications I needed. Was
Yeah.
with a couple road bumps. You know, if you're running into, I always tell my Harrisburg kids, if you're running into roadblocks, that's a good thing because that means you're moving.
Exactly.
So I've been about 5 years in it, and bro, I love it, bro. I'm glad I didn't pursue being a state trooper. I'm glad I didn't pursue being in the military. I mean, those would have been great career choices
Yeah.
as well, but what a great way to just influence thousands of kids, hundreds of kids, and I love it, bro.
Dude,
Especially my coworkers, they go to different high schools, so it gets nice and competitive. Never really saw myself in high school, though. Never really saw myself training high schooler kids. I always envisioned pro, but I think that's a prime example of, bro, a lot of times it's not going to end up how you want it. It's not going to end
yeah.
up how you think it's going to end up, which is okay. Which is okay, because I always told myself, dude, you like training really anybody, right? As long as it's athletes, don't you? And I was like this, yup, I do. So lo and behold, here I am. Where'd the journey start? The journey started here at USF, because I went to USF.
Okay.
The journey started at USF. Then I went to Akron, Ohio, where LeBron James is at. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
James from a distance.
Yeah.
Went to Boulder, Colorado. Loved it out there. Thought I was going to be there a little bit longer, but like I say, things happen for a reason. Then ended up with the Niners. Just
Okay.
I don't want to say, a lot of some people would say, how'd you get that? And I'll say, bro, you really want to know? I worked my ass off. That's how I got there.
Right.
So a lot of people, they just want the results. They don't want the hard work. And that was a prime example of, bro, scrubbing the floors, picking up after athletes 15 hours a day. Some people called me crazy, but I just knew something was good on the other side. I mean, you're in the field, you know how it is.
Dude, here's the thing. When people are calling you crazy or questioning what you're doing, I'm a big believer, and you're probably probably doing something good, and you're doing something unique, and that's true to you. Exactly. I'm just a big believer. You know, you mentioned a few sentences back too, like you were like, not when you're running into roadblocks, like that's good. That's when you know you're because you're moving.
Yes.
And it's so true, because it's so many times in life, people are using different times in life as excuses, right? And this excuse will end after this stops or after that stops.
Exactly.
And sorry, life never stops, so the excuses keep going.
Yep.
And it just it inhibits them, and it slows them down, because they're choosing not just to go and accept roadblocks and drive over them. Instead, they're using the roadblocks as stop signs. Exactly. And they're just stopping,
Exactly.
And they never go through the stop sign.
Exactly. Somebody once said, dude, it's okay to get down, but it's not okay to stay down.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to get discouraged, but not okay to stay discouraged. And I always tell my athletes that. I'm like, this guy's, it's going to veer off a little bit from reality, which is okay, because preferably you don't even want to know how it's going to end up, because then the story's ruined, right? So really, in reality, we really don't really know how it's going to end. Like, we want to know, but we really don't want to know, because then it ruins the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It ruins the flavor.
Ooh, I like that.
The reason why I love part of the journey of being with athletes and getting them to realize their potential, and they got untapped potential with them. And I think most of the athletes that I've worked with, and not even athletes, just people that I've worked with, I'm always talking positive, always push them to be the best they can be, and that's what I want. That's what I want to leave behind, bro.
Well, dude, and the cool thing is like, both with young athletes, you said, I originally planned, you were with the Niners, like I originally planned being with pro athletes, and you're working at a high amount of kids right now at a high school level, and you're like, at first I didn't envision that, but how absolutely amazing is it when you realize the spot that you're in right now, the amount of influence that you have on an age group that you can actually have an influence on in a positive manner and make a difference. And you're not just coaching them and strength coaching them for like 12 weeks or 8 weeks or 7 sessions. That coaching and that influence that you're giving right now actually is with them forever.
Yeah.
Like it's in the back of their head forever if you do it right.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4 years, but then I was like, this. No, it's a lot more than 4 years. And I always
Yeah.
tell them that I'm like, this dude. To be honest with you, you getting this many touchdowns, you getting this, you getting that. You increasing your squat 100 pounds for this. That's all great, but
Mm-hmm.
in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
You know what? And it doesn't. Being 30 years old now, 31 years old, I look back at my high school career, what I did in college. I don't even think about it ever, unless it randomly gets brought up. Me and you were talking about it, and I have to think like, oh, what was that time, or what was that
Right.
score? Like, you don't even
Right.
care. Like,
Yeah.
it
No.
matters to you in the moment, which is great, and it's a
Yeah.
motivation for that age, and
Yep.
that is super important because it builds the discipline.
Yep.
But like, I think about like the things I learned from my strength coach, that the one that was actually highly influential on me that I had between my junior and senior year of high school, and then I trained with her, in college down in Las Vegas, and I'm like, that person right there, I had no idea. I never thought about life past basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
not thinking about life
Yeah.
past basketball, and then she made me think like, oh, like this, helping people, motivating them, training them, I can make a living doing that. Like, and then, that was just such a positive
that
thing.
short-sighted view.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how it is. We're about the same age. When you're younger, you just don't have that. You don't have that foresight. It takes time.
Yeah,
I was listening
it
to a
does.
podcast the other day, and a lot of us don't stick long enough to get the results. The sniper stays overnight. The sniper stays overnight to get the result. And obviously, that's not maybe not the best analogy, but that's what they're.
No, I like that.
Yeah, the
I've never
sniper.
heard that.
The sniper sticks around to get that result, and versus somebody who's just in there to just get a little, bang, 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 shoot, shoot, get out. The result isn't as good. The result typically isn't as good, and you got the cleanup too. He was
The cleanup and the higher risk.
Yeah,
The cleanup and the higher risk.
ET, the hip hop preacher, he was explaining that. Yeah, you got the cleanup. The
I
cleanup.
like that.
The cleanup is sometimes worse than doing the actual act.
Right.
And we're just not sticking around. A lot of us just aren't sticking around enough to get that result. And yeah, I'm cognizant of that. That doesn't make it easier per se, but I'm very cognizant of that.
No, that's totally right, man. And so many people lack the patience. I mean, we talk about it from a fitness standpoint all the time, right? Because we're fitness guys. That's what we do for a living.
Right.
So we utilize that all the time in the sense of results don't come overnight, right? But like when you think about how that actually correlates into life, whether you're trying to build a business or you're trying to build a great relationship, whatever it is, like that, like all the fitness guys, we all know, like you don't increase your squat to 350 pounds for 5 reps overnight, or we don't get a six pack. But like we all want to grow our business in 6 weeks and be there. You know what I mean? Like it's the same concepts that like we have to apply these rules that we know in the fitness side of things into the actual side of life. That patience is key, and stick with something for years. Like quit doing this thing for 6 weeks and 12 weeks. Like, dude, I've seen so many of like people that I've met over the years. You say friends, like acquaintances, whatever. And you follow them and you watch their content and it's awesome. And, they start something, but then like all of a sudden 8 weeks later, 6 weeks later, like you're not seeing it.
Where'd it go?
It's like, dude, like you were doing so great.
Yeah.
It was like your content was awesome.
Through. Yep.
Yeah.
That day that you quit, you were going to have a breakthrough that next day.
You sure could have. And the thing is, like you're giving up on the window of opportunity because you weren't like, you didn't like the lack of results that was coming in, and you built an expectation in your head that was made up anyway. Like you made up what the result should have been. Like, oh, you got 10,000 followers from this. Like, you made that up in your head. Yeah. And so it's like, dude, like, were you doing it for that reason, or were you doing it because you loved it and you wanted to grow something over time? You have to ask yourself those things.
Exactly. I had a little quote. Found a little quote, and it said, "That thing that you often thought about doing, and then that you never got around to doing, somebody got around to do it, and AKA your patience." Patience. And it's easy because we can have everything by the click of we can get everything by the click of a mouse or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
it's so easy. And that's one thing what I love about like Ole lifting, what we've been doing is it's been so patient, and the process is like you got to be so patient. You got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to be consistent, which I've lacked a little bit on that end.
It's always hard.
It's always hard. There's something magical that happens when you're consistent, and we all know that whatever we're doing. So
extremely magical, and
yeah,
that's something that we don't stop and think about either. You know what I mean? Like
right,
how much consistency plays a role in result later on.
right.
Go ahead.
Writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Writing it down. There's something magical that happens when you write it down, and there's something magical that happens when you're consistent.
Yeah, and it's amazing because a lot of times those results don't always come back in what we feel like they could come back in.
Right.
Just because you put all the work and consistency into, like, let's say, poly lifting or in basketball or whatever it is, doesn't mean like you're gonna get those blessings back.
Yeah.
In the goal that you set forth with, like in basketball, like that consistency and determination and dedication, like that might come back and be blessed back to you 5 years later in getting a job that you didn't think you were qualified to get. You know what I mean? Like those blessings come back at times that we don't always see and we can't foresee.
We can't. Yeah, exactly. You said it head on. Right. That's perfect. Yeah. It's like I say, just stick with it. I think a lot of times people might be doing it they might be in an area of their weakness too. I was reading a book. I think it's okay to quit sometimes, especially if you're in an area of your weakness, because then you want to turn over. And if you're playing basketball and you've tried and you haven't been able to make varsity for 3 years, and then you go to play football and you make varsity, and it's just like this, dude, that was okay to quit if you saw it like that. Now you're doing even better.
No,
that was just an example, but yeah.
I completely agree, and I've had a big mind switch on this over the last 2 years, where I'm like, dude, sometimes quitting at certain things is definitely not a weakness. Like, it's definitely a strength. Like being able to change your mind, and decide to work on what you find to be strengths versus weaknesses is like that's a strength. Being able to be humble enough to do that.
Yeah, it takes courage. Like it takes courage and be like, dude, I wasn't good at it. I wasn't.
And it takes a super high level of self-awareness.
Exactly.
Like that's a hard thing to do. But that's the thing is, like, if you're growing in yourself anyway, you're continually finding like new things that you're more interested in or that you're actually a lot better at that you decide you want to pursue. You're challenging yourself. And so that will, like, you have to make the choice at that point, like, okay, can I do all these things, which some people can, or do I need to like push these other ones to the side, aka quit or come back to them later? Like,
as we get older, your judgment should get better.
Yeah.
Your judgment should get better on the things to say yes to and the things to say no to, but you should always say yes. That doesn't mean say no to things that you doubt yourself in. You should always challenge yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Sure.
Agreed. Dude, so you landed out there with the 49ers. Okay, let's go from there. Where'd you go after that? That ended.
I was out there for 8 months, and really the cool story about that is I was actually supposed to be out there for like, how long was it? I was supposed to be out there for like 3-4 weeks, and I ended up out there for a season.
That's crazy.
So a lot of people don't know about that. So that was a really special. That was special, man. That was special. I called my boss and I was like, dude, this is my 4th internship, and I was like, I'm ready. I know what I'm doing. I was starting to label myself professional intern.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, on LinkedIn and stuff, and I was like, dude, I'm ready. I know what I'm doing. And all my Niner staff was like, this dude, you're still doing internships? You seem to know what you're doing. Why are you just still doing internships? And it kind of took a little bit. I knew what I did. I knew what I was doing, but at the same time, it was nice to get confirmation. It was nice to get confirmation from others, and especially at the pro level. So that's what I like. My confidence skyrocketed. I loved the league, but I was done there. Did a great job. He explained that I did a great job, and I was like, dude, it's time for me to kind of go build my own little legacy. And lo and behold, it was back to Sioux Falls. I went to Bartlett first. It was great. went to Bartlett, met some people, reached out, and then I went to Sanford after that. Wasn't at Bartlett too terribly long, and then obviously now I'm here at Sanford.
Yeah, and you've been there for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been at Sanford for a year and a half. So man, it's
awesome.
Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm waiting for the next football season, but in the meantime, we gotta be patient here.
Dude, well, and the nice thing is like this is the time where all the fun work is. Like
man,
in between the seasons is way more fun than like in season stuff.
Oh yeah, so bro. So it crushed me, bro. The kids for the ones that were working consistently, we had about 4 or 5 that had 100% attendance, and then we had about how many more? Probably 25 to 30 coming in there, and we pushed it, bro. I pushed the envelope on my programs. We pushed the envelope, and it's a beautiful process. So it hurt, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like this, Ronnie, you can't control it. So who you can be mad at? You can't be mad at nobody. And even if it was somebody, it wouldn't benefit. So just relax and wait till we get back at it again. So find alternatives.
It goes like it goes back to what we created as an expectation in our head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which we can't control everything, which sucks. But dude, so what are you telling your guys? What are you telling your guys and your athletes? I should term it like that. What are you telling your athletes right now, man? Like,
to be honest with you, I haven't reached out to them yet. I should be hearing them out in next week.
Okay.
So, this whole thing where you're like, dude, where's it at? What's going on? Damn, it's gonna end up being a little bit longer than we planned.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm gonna reach out to him next week. And a couple of kids have reached out to me. We've had a little bit of dialogue back and forth.
Awesome.
But I also think there's a time and period where a lot of kids are like, dude, how long is this going to last? I think everybody's still in a little bit of shock.
Right. Well, dude, I talked to some of the, we train at basically just a personal 3,500 square foot personal training studio. So it's not like outside gym members coming in.
Right.
So I'm still doing some one-on-one training with just select clients, really low impact, or low, low traffic. So it's pretty safe. And it's been interesting because we have a couple other trainers that we all work out of there. And it's just one of those things like this is, what we talked to them about was like, this is a time where it's like for us to really be selective with how we're communicating, and not buying into the negativity and really being, because like, as the strength coach, as the trainer, like that your people look up to you.
Yeah.
Like they come in a lot of times for positivity. Like you've had clients where like they come in for exercise that day. Like it was for much more than that. And so like this was such an opportunity to be like, to really be selective on how you're communicating with them and being spreading positivity and nothing but.
And that's my clear, and that's my message. Obviously, is let's stay positive. And my message also is this: nobody cares. Work harder.
True.
Nobody cares. We care about your health. We care about you.
Yep.
And at the same time, just getting them to understand that mindset of nobody cares. Work harder. Because really, I really truly believe the ones who are coming up with championships and coming up with stuff in this next year, whenever we get started, are the ones who are doing the most right now.
Dude, okay, really funny because I have a couple kids from Brandon that I'm training right now.
Okay.
And they're, and I have some other young kids. I have a couple kids from O'Gorman. I have a couple kids from Harrisburg. So it's kind of funny because like I train these kids from school, so they actually all compete against each other.
Yeah.
And they're in the same divisions. Now, a lot of these are all different ages in boys and girls, so actually a lot of them won't technically see each other for several more years because some of them are in like junior high.
Gotcha.
But I have a high school football player, and he played some varsity last year for Brandon. Brandon was good.
Yeah.
They lost when they shouldn't have lost.
He's hungry.
And he's hungry, but at the same time, like I can kind of like sense it out this week, like looking for excuses a little bit, just like, and it's just because of the world around him. It's just the environment.
Right.
It's not him. Like, it's not who he is, but it's like, dude, the environment around us is so powerful, and man, like it'll start to play with you, and it's like, and you nailed it, dude. You're like the people, like if we could jump ahead a year or 8 months and we can start seeing who wins championships.
Yep.
I would put $1,000 down right now
On
that
who was doing the most.
on right now, like when everybody else has the excuse to sit at home and play Fortnite all day,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
it's gonna be who's figuring it out to
Yep.
do something right now.
I agree.
To do
I
something,
agree.
and it's not easy, and it's a pain in the butt, you know, right now. But dude, it's gonna be who figures it out.
I agree.
You're right.
I agree.
You are right.
The smart will always outwork the strong.
Ooh, dude, you always have these nice little one-liners, man.
Yeah, I write them down. I study them.
I love it.
The Harrisburg kids know motivational Ronnie, and the motivational speaker in the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah,
I love it.
That'll be a nice little transition for me, and I'll love
exactly.
And I can impact even more people. So,
well, and that's the thing is like your profession, what we do, it does lead into that stuff.
Oh, it goes hand in hand. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's just a reminder of the smart outwork the strong every time. I mean, you got to be smart and stay away from the TV, right? In order to get in front of and go out there and maybe go run Tut Hill, or maybe it's close. Go do something, that's productive. And then that's being smart, right? That's being intellectually smart, not even scholastically smart, not talking about all that, but just in terms of decision making.
Right.
I think that separates a lot of athletes from others is their decision making is better. What mine wasn't when I was younger.
Yeah. Dude, it's difficult. Like we talked about, the outside play, and we got choices. The outside plays with us, and we got choices. But now it's like you can utilize it. Like you said, way back 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, that's part of your story. If you didn't have that, how could you talk about it now?
Exactly. I agree.
And like the impact of what you're saying now is meaningful. And you're gonna make a difference with a lot of kids that way.
Exactly. It's always interesting when people say, if you had one thing you would change, what would it be? And it's hard, because why would you change anything? Because if you changed anything, you would be different. And really, in reality, this is who you are, and all those decisions that you made, whether bad or good, is made you where you are at now. So a lot of people say, yeah, I wouldn't change anything because this is me.
Exactly.
And another thing is, you don't even know what. It's kind of hard. It's a weird question to answer too.
I completely agree, man. I completely agree. Dude, I miss seeing you around. I haven't gotten to. I bet it's been over a year.
What's up, Brett? That's my boy. Bro.
Nice, dude. Yeah, dude, it's probably been over a year since we've seen each other, I suppose.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I was just thinking, I was like, damn, I haven't seen you at the gym. But, I understand we all got lives to live. We all got lives
crazy.
To live. We're all busy. We actually went to 26th. And then I was lifting at Sanford here and there, and
yep.
Yeah.
And I've been lifting down in Harrisburg at our facility that I train out of in Harrisburg.
Okay.
So I haven't even been into the gym that we were both in, that we were seeing each other. I haven't been in there like a year.
I need to head over there sometime. Obviously, when all this mayhem slows down, I'll have to go check that spot out.
Yeah, dude, you'll have to come over and we'll have to hit it. I miss seeing you. It's been too long, and I'm hoping that we actually get to do an actual podcast together in person.
Yeah,
like the original plan was, but I'm glad we got to do this anyway, because I think there's a meaning for everything.
There is.
And so I'm glad we got to do this, dude.
In the end, it's about the memories, right? The relationships. That's all we won't remember the numbers. I was kind of trying to think back, like in high school, like the statistics and the scores.
Right.
You vaguely remember it, bro. I remember the people. I always remember, like, back home, the people. I'm always like this. Somebody will ask me back home, like, where I'm from. I'll be like, damn, there's some good people over there. There's some good people out there, and it's a small town, so that makes it easier to remember a lot of the people.
Right.
But at the same time, like, all my memories are a lot of our Midwest and good people. Good people. You got to remember, like, I was raised and born in Haiti. So I'm
right.
Every day, no matter what you have. I'm lucky that I'm here. bro. I could have been, Ronnie. You can't complain about anything. Like, it's one thing if you're born in America, but bro, I could have been. I always think about it. Like, I could have been in the tumble or in the with all the what am I trying to say? With all the earthquake stuff, with all that happened, bro. So I'm just grateful every day, bro. Grateful every day.
Yeah, it's a whole nother level of gratefulness, dude. Like, something like that is unreal.
It is. It's crazy.
Unreal.
Grateful,
dude. And here the thing is, you even hear, like, the stuff going on right now. Like, how lucky are we that we're in Sioux Falls, South, around small area South Dakota. Like,
yeah,
it is better. Like, it's right now. Like, we're blessed to be where we're at.
I'm always like this. Damn, the grocery stores could be closed. The grocery stores could be closed. Then what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of thinking worst case. But yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse, bro.
Exactly, and we're all gonna get through it, dude. Here's the thing: it's either you be negative,
shine, man. That
here's the thing:
definitely needs
everything that's cliche usually happens to be true. It sounds corny and cliche, but all those things are true. It's the fact.
Yeah,
dude. I want to end it. Yeah. I want to end it like this, man. So I'm gonna put this up on my podcast, the Live Beyond Average podcast, and since this is technically the first time you're on, I always like to ask this. What does living beyond average mean to you?
What does living beyond average mean to me? Living beyond average to me means living uncomfortable and not being comfortable. Living not like the average means turning off the TV and going to meeting with 3 people a day. Living not like the average means going out, reaching your potential. Success is built off of inconvenience, not convenience, which is why very few will get there. And I'm willing to be, and I know I've taken some steps to be inconvenienced, which is getting rid of my TV, which is saying no because my no is stronger than my fake yes. Living beyond average means looking to help somebody else and instill some positivity in their lives and help other people get to the top versus just yourself. What do they say? There's 3 levels of success. There's survival, which you're living paycheck to paycheck. There's success, which you're successful, but anybody else around you isn't. And then there's significance. And I'm on the way to significance, which is where you help other people get to the top as well, and not just yourself, because that's the definition of true success, helping others. So,
I 100% agree, man. Couldn't be happier that you're my friend.
Yeah,
so pumped that we could line this up, and we'll definitely be doing it again. This isn't going to be the last one, so
yeah, bro. Let's stay episode 1, huh? Episode 1, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. This is so I did a spreading positivity with a buddy up in Bismarck here last week, and so we crossed the state lines a little bit for that on Instagram.
I like it.
This one with you and me, this will be spreading positivity number 2 on our podcast, episode 120. I believe this will end up being.
Okay.
And so we're getting up there a little bit.
You got some episodes under your belt.
We've been rolling for a little while now, man.
I like that. That shows a little bit of stability and a little bit of character on your end. I like that.
You just got to keep going, man.
Keep going.
Exactly. Well, hey, I can't wait to have you on again and do this a second time. And next time we'll be in person. We'll actually be able to give each other a handshake.
Yeah, so. we'll be talking about the times now, right?
Exactly, dude. We will. We totally will. I believe that. So, Ronnie, keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you too. You as well, bro.
See you later. Have a great day.